Hello, Cumberland Valley first grade students. Welcome to lesson 9 of our music lessons. I am Mrs. Ngone from Silver Spring Elementary. We're going to begin with some movements. So you may go ahead and stand up. All right, and our movement that we're going to do is tapping our shoulders, just like that. And we'll have two different pieces of music. So here we go. All right, got our bodies moving right away. Now, here for something a little bit different. Did we move in different ways? Yes, we were still tapping our shoulders, but was there something different that we did in the first piece, which was the fossils from the Carnival of the Animals, and the second piece, which was the swan from the Carnival of the Animals? If you think something seemed different, you are right. And so today we're going to be exploring different speeds in music. Several weeks ago, I want to say lesson 2 or 3, we were doing a chant called Chop, Chop, Chippity Chop together, and we practiced our different kinds of voices that we have. So we're going to do that again today, so let's just do a little review because it's been several weeks. Echo me. Chop, chop, chippity chop. We'll cut off the bottom, we'll cut off the top. What there is left, we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, chippity chop. All right, here's a bigger part, so wait until I motion to you. Chop, chop, chippity chop. We'll cut off the bottom, we'll cut off the top. What there is left, we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, chippity chop. Right, it's all coming back to you, first grade. Now let's go back to the beginning and I'll do the whole thing. You can mouth the words with me and then I will give you a chance to do the whole thing without my help. Here we go, my turn. Chop, chop, chippity chop. We'll cut off the bottom, we'll cut off the top. What there is left, we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, chippity chop. Your turn. That's it, yes. See, it all just comes back after you've practiced it for a little while. Now, last week with Mrs. Ostrander, you were talking about different speeds and learning about different speeds in music, experiencing them in different ways. So first, let's go ahead and review slow. All right, got a sense for what that might sound like? Here we go. Chop, chop, chippity chop. We'll cut off the bottom, we'll cut off the top. What there is left, we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, chippity chop. What's another kind of speed that we could review from last time? All right, you want to go all the way to fast? Yes, here we go. Ready, go. Chop, chop, chippity chop. We'll cut off the bottom, we'll cut off the top. What there is left, we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, chippity chop. Yes, first grade. All right, you have got it down pat. So we have our slow speed. We also have fast speeds in music. And We do have somewhere in the middle too. There is definitely more of a medium speed, which is probably what we practiced chop, chop, chippity chop at first. Now think back to the very beginning when we were doing our movements. What would you call this speed right here? Go ahead and say it. All right, if you said slow, yes, definitely. Here's another one. Here's the first one that we did. Different from the swan. And you would call that one, yes, I would definitely agree with fast for that one. Now we have a song called The Little Red Wagon. Let me go ahead and play and sing it for you, and then we'll go ahead and do some practicing with our song as well. Here we go. Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, won't you be my darling? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Won't you be my darling? One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. Won't you be my darling? Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon. Won't you be my darling? What did you notice about Little Red Wagon and our tempo, or the speed of the music? It changed, didn't it? Yeah, so we're going to do some practicing today with Little Red Wagon, and then we will go ahead and add in some instrument parts. So if you want to think of an instrument that you might have around your house, or something you were able to tap together, maybe 2 pencils or something very similar, and always check with your parents before you use something. All right, so here we go with our song, and as you notice, there is some repeating. At the very beginning, I sang, riding up and down in my little red wagon, and then a little while later, I also sang, riding up and down in my little red wagon. So we can say that those 2 parts of the song are the same. And then there was something else in the middle. So let's go from the beginning here. I'll sing the first verse. Notice how many times I sing, riding up and down in my little red wagon. Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, won't you be my darling? So how many times was it? 3, yes. So you sing that 3 times, and then you have a brand new phrase at the end, which is the same as all the verses. Won't you be my darling? All right, I'll sing it one more time, and then you sing it back to me. Won't you be my darling? Won't you be my darling? That's it. Okay, now let's go back to the beginning part. I'm going to slow it down. Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon. Here we go, everybody. Ready, sing. Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon. And then we add, won't you be my darling? Yep. All right, I'll go back. I'll sing the whole thing, and then you can echo me. Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, won't you be my darling? Ready, sing. Up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, won't you be my darling? Yes! Yay, it's coming along so well, first grade. Now, we'll go into our next two verses, which are a little bit different here. So our second one, the words are, hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Your turn. Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Yeah, and if at any time you need to stop and review a little bit, you may go ahead, just rewind our video a little bit, and then you can do some extra practicing. So now, let's go ahead and I will sing verse 2. Follow along closely, and you'll notice a similar pattern as the first verse. Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Won't you be my darling? Here we go. Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Won't you be my darling? Okay, now verse 3, the words are, one wheel's off and the axle's dragging. Ready, go. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. Yes. All right, so let me sing that whole verse and be ready to sing after me. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. Won't you be my darling? Here we go. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. Won't you be my darling? Yeah. All right, first grade, we're going to go ahead and put everything together. I'm going to put the words on the screen for you, and then you will hear me performing it on the piano and singing. So you can sing along, but have the words for a little bit of extra practice. And then we'll come on back to finish up our class. Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, won't you be my darling? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Hey, what's happened to my little red wagon? Won't you be my darling? One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. One wheel's off and the axle's dragging. Won't you be my darling? Riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon, riding up and down in my little red wagon. Won't you be my darling? First grade, I hope that you enjoyed putting Little Red Wagon all together and singing it the whole way through. Now is when you will need some kind of instrument to show the beat, or you can also use movements if that's what works best. Now, as always, before you select an instrument to play, check with the grown-ups to make sure that what you are using is okay to use as your instrument. And what you will hear is the audio again, and you will also see the words for a little bit of extra practice if you need them. And we'll go ahead and keep the beat of Little Red Wagon. Remember, with your instruments or with your movements. And notice what happens to the speed in Little Red Wagon. you all enjoyed getting to keep the beat in some way, either with your movements or with an instrument, to Little Red Wagon. What did you notice about the speed of our song? Think about the beginning section, which was the same as the end, riding up and down in my little red wagon. What kind of speed would you call that? If you said fast, exactly. That was definitely fast. You had to move, or you had to really keep your rhythm sticks going, or whatever you had at your house. And what about the sections in the middle, which were, hey, what's happened to my little red wagon, and one wheel's off and the axle's dragging, which those two sections were different from each other and also different from the beginning and ending verses. They were slow. Yeah, so first grade, I hope that you have enjoyed experiencing tempo in those different ways today. Take care, everybody.